Hi guys, I'm yeeun, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing my first tier ranking. Anybody who knows me knows I'm quite opinionated, so this should be fun. I am going to be specifically looking at CLC title tracks today and ranking them on a little ranking chart I have made from God tier all the way to nope tier and everything in between, which I'll show you in a sec. And as always, please note everything said in this video is simply just my opinion and does not matter, so please don't get upset in the comments. But at the same time, I'd love to hear your opinions and where you'd place the songs. So without further ado, let's get started. So here is the tier ranking chart I have created, complete with 5 categories down the left hand side and the album covers ready to be inserted for every era from Pepe to Helicopter. I'll run through the categories real quick. God tier is for the best of CLC's title track releases, the ones which just have everything and cannot be beaten. Good tier is for the ones that are close to being up there in God tier as they are of such higher quality, but just not quite. Okay tier is the ones which don't blow my mind per se, but are respectably good releases in their own way. Meh tier is for the songs I'm not hugely fond of. I don't think they're the worst, but I'm also not a fan. And finally, last but not least, nope tier is for the songs I have to be honest and say I just simply do not like. Pretty self-explanatory. So let's kick things off with debut CLC, Pepe. I have been a CLC stan since the beginning, so Pepe was the first song I heard by them, and I really liked it a lot. As far as debuts go, I definitely think it was both strong and kind of unique rather than just a simple done and finished cute concept. It gave them a sense of originality, which I was eager to see them build on. That's why I'd say for me it's going in the good tier category. It's not quite like the best debut I have ever heard, but I do think it was strong and showed off their abilities at the time and gave us an idea of what we could potentially expect to see in future. Next up, we have 18, which I know a lot of people probably aren't expecting me to be a fan of, but for some reason I am. I'm not even entirely sure of why myself. I think it was a nice little follow-up from Pepe. It doesn't blow my mind per se, but I also don't cringe and want to immediately skip the song whenever it comes on. So because of that, I think it's fair to place 18 in OK tier, because I can definitely see how it may not be a lot of people's cup of tea, especially because it was released in their earlier days when we weren't sure what to expect from them yet. Side note, I mean, are we ever 100% sure what concept Cube will give them now? But you get what I mean. Like is another song which I feel similarly to 18 could divide fans and listeners because it's not a bad song, it's just different, and from a new group who you aren't 100% sure of the sound of yet, it can be odd to decide an opinion on. I was okay with this song, so I do feel a little bad about my placement of it, because it isn't that I dislike but reading my own chart criteria that I created, I see that the meh category I have made for songs I could probably do without, and that is where this would fall for me. So that is where I have put like. I'm sorry girls. This next one is quite easy for me. I was very excited to see the addition of new members and what this would mean for the future of the group, but I was very much not a fan of high heels. I'm very appreciative of everybody's individual music tastes, so I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who love this song, but I am not one of them, I'm afraid. If I'm being honest with myself, there is nowhere else I can put this on my personal tier ranking than in nope tier. I would be lying to myself if I put it anywhere else. In fact, while planning this tier ranking, it was the first time I'd re-listened to it in years, but seeing their current caliber, my opinion doesn't waver. No is exactly the excitement I was looking for when they added new members, and this was my favorite CLC song for a while. It just had such a strong concept and it highlighted the members' talent so well. For example, I had no idea Elkie was such a good singer until I heard her in No, and I just enjoyed everything about this era, from the song itself to the stages, etc. With all that being said, and I can't believe I am doing this, but it is still still only going to sit firmly in good tier. In the past, I'd have put it in god tier no question, but as CLC keep going from strength to strength, that is what has pushed it down slightly. Okay, let's just start by putting it in the ranking chart, because I'm sure this will come as no surprise to anybody, but Hobgoblin deserves to be in god tier and nowhere lower. This was CLC's first ever girl crush concept, and probably a big turning point in their career because we found something ideal for them. Fans loved it, and they gained a lot of new fans too. I too was in the category of fans who loved it, the concept, the song, etc. I didn't know what to expect when I first saw the concept the girls were going for just because it was so different for them, but it could not have been a nicer surprise. I know this is probably going to be quite an unpopular opinion, but I think Where Are You was nice. A lot of the hate it gets is simply because it came just after Hobgoblin and was a complete concept 180, but it's Cube we need to blame for that and their endless experiments on CLC. More on that in another video. The song itself is okay, hence its position in okay tier for me. It didn't super duper stand out, but I do like it. I know it's not a Christmas song, but for some reason it gives me cute Christmas vibes. And hey, a lot of groups are doing 80s concepts now. They were ahead of their time. This was kind of where, for me, things got frustrating because the girls deserve better. I completely understand trying to experiment. Hobgoblin aka Girl Crush, it worked. Where Are You aka softer. People weren't so keen. As a company, that should tell you all you need to know going forward with the girls' next release, but their Cube went again with changing their concept, and for me, To the Sky was random and out of nowhere, and I just didn't like it at all. I don't know, maybe my feelings are stronger because I was mad at Cube for missing an amazing opportunity for the girls to continue with what worked for them, but at the same time, it isn't my style of song either, so into no tier you go. I'm sorry. I just spent the last song slandering Cube, and now I shall proceed to thank them for giving CLC. The release of No is where I can really begin to get excited for the girls, because it actually sort of starts to feel like you understand that this mature girl crush concept really suits CLC. I'd say No is very close to Black Dress for me, just maybe Black Dress choreography pushes it slightly above No because it bangs. No is another CLC release which is of such a high quality. It is exactly the sort of style they deserve. There's something about the mature girl crush concept that is always unique when CLC do it, like it never just feels like another girl group release. So of course, no surprise, No is going to go in my god tier too, because it is iconic. Weirdly enough, you'd expect me to be a big fan of Me, but it actually took a while to grow on me. The beat drop isn't my favorite to be honest when there's such a build-up, and the choreo kind of bored me a little. I wanted to like it as much as a lot of people do, but it took me some time to get there. However, like I said, it did grow on me and I do like it a lot now. It's escaped okay tier, but it's definitely not god tier. So good tier it is because it is a good song, but I wouldn't put it up there with my favorites. What I can say though is I do feel like the music video was pretty and so were some of the stage outfits. I say some because the outfits with the joggers may have worked for other eras, but it just seemed like such a negative contrast to the pretty traditional ones. I don't know what it is, but I feel like one of only very few who were super hyped about Devil, because I absolutely bloody loved it. Yes, it was definitely low-budget project. There's no doubt about that, but everything about it is very fun, from the antics in the video to the stage choreo. I really like it. Devil has actually become one of my favorite CLC songs. It's super duper catchy and although different than the mature girl crush concept I keep mentioning, it actually really suits them. I don't know if many people would agree, but for me personally Devil is a god tier song, simply because I love it so much. I constantly do the choreography in my head every time I hear it. And last but not least we have the girls' most recent release, Helicopter. I knew as soon as I heard the song, it would be received well, and rightfully so. It was another concept which suited them really well and shows just exactly what quality content they can produce when they are given the capacity to do so. I adore the choreography, especially Seungyeon's part 1 just showed and her one in the second pre-chorus too, and I think the song does well in highlighting each member's individual abilities on stage. Of course, this being said, as much as I am a big fan of Helicopter, I wouldn't put it up in God tier with the likes of the heavyweights Hobgoblin, Black Dress and No, but it's also much better than just okay, so it nestles perfectly into good tier, because it is very good and I was super impressed by the production of both the song and MV. Okay everyone, so here we have our completed tier ranking of CLC's title tracks thus far. Overall, I of course may be biased because I've been a CLC fan for so long, but I do think they have a very solid discography, and even though I may not be a fan of the constant experimentation they are put through, I guess one positive is that they will have a variety of different styles for people to check out if they aren't yet familiar. I don't want to end this video on the note of lol stan CLC, but in all seriousness, they are a very talented and well-rounded group who I feel deserve a lot more credit and success than they receive. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching if you've got this far, and if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments your opinions and where you'd place which songs. If you are new here and aren't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be first to hear when I upload another K-pop ranking like this one, a K-pop meme, edit or other opinions etc. etc. And I will see you next time. Bye guys.